There you go. Yeah, that's loud.
Bam, bull finale. You want to ours.
Ah, Ibo. Rovi the mo.
Oh well.
Toki the. Floy Masharnu? Oh, Leafy.
Tripna!
Bernard.
Oh, loud. Where's my remote? Oh, here it is.
Abana plerum gown.
Gibbs.
Yeah. Tenebib meepu. Quimba.
Nurture!
Jossa.
Oh, Sambisi.
Narsh.
Ooh, Serpino Fine.
Yambar.
See?
Nizo
This works.
Dempsa.
Yashona. Renglar. Plesame.
Galmu. Dirkle. Ganira.
Fwe Bejelja. Ah,
It's still in love
Quexanas.
with her.
Oh.
Let's see if it works.
Wabana.
It will work.
Yasanar. Amsoon
This is
Bafatamoy.
Huh.
Wadissa. Bernarli Kadab. Sarbava.
Baccal Vanilla Frost.
Down there?
Shanoi.
Yeah, boy. Ho, ho, ho. Koya.
Ooh. Mwah.
Okay.
Tiranga?
See,
Vale.
if you were
Who's that
married.
Shuba?
Mwah.
Oh, fuck.
Agla.
Oh, fuck. Let's say. Whoa, isn't he fucking with this bitch? Hold on. Where is she? Where is she? No, I guess he wasn't. He was fucking with this bitch right here.
Garbafa. Good toy.
Ebak. Nabaquink.
Nauseous.
Do I yet?
Sinush. Ina Preb.
Yes.
Omfra. Polisher. Yibs.
Grimbo.
Favu.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Taringa. Oh. Oh, boy.
Nino
Hold
Chaza.
on. See what she
Waga. Oh. Nizo Brib.
Ooh.
She's like, what the hell is going on?
Roman Snoosh.
Ish. Yemful. Fanjib Zaphis. Evora. Banale. Bipitem. Quexanas, eh? Ah, Quexanas.
Thanka Trina.
The bang. You. Wobin.
Tiru. Oh. So.
Yipsy. Ah.
Oh, Yata. Yes. Yibs. Sharuna.
Darpza.
Dad. Malade.
Snooze.
Oh. Windu. Oh. Oh, Wadisa.
Kelstalame. Apago.
Fuba.
Oh.
Stan Sabstos. Hoshi Lin. Hoshi Mazzles.
Umbraza.
There's old deep. Or
Silly dash. Shimmy baye. Lashin noiba. Heavy. What's it?
Oh, Warba.
Oh boy, Jabu Joe, Yuma. Zebna, Chupa Yuma, wait. Ha.
What?
Oh.
Bomb.
Hey, Samba.
Slow riff. Soy. Rebna. Kalibna. Red. Grana Hura. Nabaflar.
Oh. Fuizak.
Brapna.
cloven Surrey.
Oh,
Barbara.
Zambo! Oh,
Oh, Lenny Wabdu.
gosh.
Oh, Vindic Growl. Oh, need.
Weeksy, start to pick a root to back need. Sweep.
Quofi? Tibana.
Just do it.
Slump. Ya bimmin. Bubwa.
Tarfa.
Unga. Dow.
Favu.
Liffy himshot.
Hoots.
Lanzaya, Savara.
Approach Sibar.
Oh, whip.
Oh, Rennick. Oh.
Oh.
Jofa.
Oh. Oh. Boomish. Please, Yana Zorpal. Fwem.
Oh, dag dag.
No. Droba. Florbus?
About
Boom.
Larn.
Fibna?
Say Pando. Sheedy Murky. Clap up a toy. Oh. Oh.
Babu.
Oh? Whoa! Miss?
Yeah. Four.
Harsh.
Rebalfa Clogum. Yasmiz Chor. Alfa Palashirsha. Awavine.
Oh.
Jabin Ponsa. Gratis. Ah.
Vampira. Oh.
Tevene.
Boy. Uh-huh.
Gurgadai.
Whoa.
Sycophus.
See?
Plesame.
Zarzuya.
Zaphis Manifest.
Frolus.
Yeah, dibs.
Oh.
Fleebs.
Fleebs. Schmezzle Tombra.
Yaz.
Schwabby.
Huh? Plesame.
Bimka Cecil.
Canis go win.
Oh.
Harfin.
Parsifal. Toss it up. Oh.
Where are we gonna move, Luna? Where are we gonna move? Where are we gonna live at? Where are we gonna live? Yay!
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
Ooh, oh, cricket. Uh-huh. Ooh. Huh. Yeah. Ah. Huh? What's it, man? Ooh, but no. Dombila.
Dashibi slack grub.
Gribix Karanga.
Grau hispa, yaloof.
Seneca
Patharger. Mabla. Sistu. Narpelka. Pekopsa. Yaksa. Ibamak and Earth. Sugarloaf. Romana. Jasapa Frip. Sped. Finerva.
Vadish Gen.
Wafata, Vomit. Huh? Sisha. Arpanaya,
Conqueroo Bima.
Slaboon. Alfonsa. Clemis, yes. Oh, me been. Merkid, Adoomed, Wisu, Merkid, Parsafe, Yamsa, Adoomed, Lovo, oh, me been. Brogi. And Fabi Frenoy, Namsapona, Nuka, Sharu, oh, me been. Zumpata, Sibo, Keep.
Tankubu, Kinkayama. And Fabi Frenoy. Ivana Ishkawanj. Binkoya. Sarabiksu. Bivesa. Laffy. Flazzle.
Wait.
Kina Gleb.
Zara. Turinga Zippo. Ha ha! Dimbeb so bad. Home she Lanuba, Zoe, Moom from Zebna, Steve, Flint.
Why are you pregnant?
Loxa.
Oh,
Oh, Sparfa. Musti Gorpina.
Kiss
Is
her
that
pay.
what kids are?
Shippy.
Fuea?
Suka?
Tweezard? Oh, shoot.
Oh.
Wixen.
Wiva?
Fuma.
Meebs.
Oh, ooks.
Senna.
Nibs Bakumba Ganache. Ben and Grabe. Exenoy.
What? No, okay.
Oh.
What you looking at, punk? What you looking at? What you looking at, punk? What you looking at? What you looking at? What you looking at?
Eat rock. Hey. Oh, Grubel.
Oh, huh. And Lori.
Valentine's Day is on Monday, and if you have a girlfriend and you've been in my DMs, then you better cash at me right now or I'm ruining your entire weekend.
Phew, Malice. Nifa. Oh. Uh-huh. Yibs. Ah, so.
Habenor. Shishadwin.
Maybe. Drobo.
Corbif. Dimisoma. Ganira. Gensh. Oh, Lux. Enloy. Sarpava.
Oh.
Nip. Moose. Griff Chappy. Torky. Wabarani Bayumi.
Ah, it's a ya. Risalek. Tembizi Kubar. Kubar! Nepi Yeka Chibs.
Chobaba Exanoy.
Oblanif.
Yishlaquis. Flurvis Falon.
Sabal. Sabal.
Shanoy.
Kelna.
Leave it, say.
Remix. Yeah.
Yebony Demise. From Polomide Bow.
Voosh.
Oh, Scoofa. Yebony.
Demi. Wabarani Bayum. Chino Sabamis.
Sazibi Yum. Suska Uma. Yanabi. Wait. No.
Do it.
Bobo. Desmikos Karenzi.
Nooch?
Alert.
Dobe. Quabba Chibs. Yoyam. Ubado.
No, he just.
Brigyab. Minze Lepeta.
Brankavin.
Ooh, we should do it in public.
Vina Ifel Im.
Computers already together. No, are you sitting on the other phone?
I just made 20.
Zanahoy. Yabino. Yafruz.
Sua. Ugh, Yeshla. Bakanoy.
Awesome. Pimbus.
Samba.
This storm of flame. Oh, yes. Eat your bay.
Oh,
Oh, oh, yeah.
and give.
Alfred.
Yes. Oh.
Yes.
Oh!
Woohoo!
Oh! Masamu. Ya nurch! Ah! Lauren!
Wash your home.
Bitch, what are you doing? You're supposed to be. Oh, fuck. Go ahead. Do it, bro.
Kobe! Kondalai! Aramboya! Wiffaloyer! Skibero Dashibi! Hubado! Sebrim!
Wabarani Bayou. Rizla Kumbar. Heart Binkapa.
Baba Chibs! Yoyam! Cribs! Jabado! Jensiba!
You're big there. What do you say?
And I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming. And we are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and state that you have a civic and corporate responsibility. You know, I mean, we pulled Trump off Twitter because of what he was spewing. Yet, and I had no idea what drill rapping was. And I had no idea what.
Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora.
Oh my god, you're such a
Yabo.
baby.
Fwiffa.
I love you, Luna.
Mon Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Gurgadon Rinshub. Verope Ling.
My little hairball.
Shabni Frima. Dorna. Chibi. Oi, Gurgadon Rinshub. Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Ni Wanoosh. Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Yerglip Hanzo. Verope Ling. Shabni Frima. Floimo. Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Nibwanoosh. Esnoi Hargrip. Gurgadon Rinshub. Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Fwiffa. Umaritintu. Clotazor. Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Nibwanoosh. Umaritintu. Clotaz. Emka. Verope Ling. Yerglip Hanzo. Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Esnoi Hargrip. Gurgadon Rinshu. Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Fwiffa. Mon Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Yerglip Hanzo. Manzo Yabahor. Emka. Floof. Esnoi Hargrip. Verope Ling. Nibwanoosh. Shabni Frima. Yerglip Hanzo. Chibi. Oh yeah. Manzo Yabahor. Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Chibi Gurgadon. Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Nibwanoosh. Chibi. Oh yeah. Shivu. Blown if Shoshamfora. Lamasi Yelma. Kalu. Nibwanoosh. Gurgadon Rinshub. Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Emka. Floof. Dorna. Chibi Gurgadon. Verope Ling. Gurgadon Rinshub. Nibwanoosh. Manzo Yabahor. Shabni Frima. Floima. Fatamoy Fonsil. Spontabu. Lamasi Yelma. Kalu. Fwiffa.
Oh my god, my hair.
Rorim.
Oh.
Chibs. Cricky. Oh, Zaffle. Ah. Shivu. Wanafub? Lodge no Wanafub? Yeah. Narble. Huh? Kisapay Tanoba. Wafatub. Oh, cricky. Shusha.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! You need to wake up! You need to wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Now you finally wake up? I've been yelling at her saying, wake up! She was, last night, girl, she kept running around and I had to put her in a cage and then she kept making noise and I'm just like, shut up, Luna, I'm trying to sleep. And then I think,
asleep. I didn't hear her after I fell asleep.
I know you were knocked out. I was like, I hope Grandma don't wake up. And I know Luna would go on your bed. She would try to hit you to wake you up. And I'll be like, oh, I looked and I have the light was like bright. So I thought you would have seen it. And I was like, Luna, get your ass off of Grandma's bed. And she's just like, and then she was scratching the door and all that. And I'm like, Luna, shut up, you're in your heat. And so I had to grab her and put her in there. And I don't remember. I think you either took her out. And she was running around the whole time, even when you left. And I was like, what the heck?
I took her out in the morning. Did I take her out? Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, because I think
she was
that's
crying. Oh,
Ooh, that's not a good nose. And now she looks like everyone. And this bitch is fat. Luna! Nope. Damn, it hurt. Luna!
Like the most ridiculous thing ever, and I'm not into it. think that sounds like the most ridiculous thing.
Luna, you nasty whore. Come here, Luna. Oopsie. Fuck. Luna, you suck, yes. You really yes. What are you doing, Luna? What? Oh, you nasty. You should have saw her. She was on the window and she was like this to the glass. She wanted to get out. How was work? Thought I asked that, but I didn't.
Hey.
Oh, I think that's no. I think Luna missed you. I asked my dad if they're doing anything tomorrow for the Super Bowl, and he hasn't said anything to me.
Oh.
What are you looking at? Huh? What are you looking at?
Joy, going up.
What? No? No kisses? Mwah. Oh. What are you doing, Luna? Uh. Come here. I got you. Oh, damn it. I got you. I got you. Come here.
So,
Kifai.
Zance Shibadoo. Chabadoo Mushka Garul. Quema Chibs.
Ermoy. Gramzari.
Oof.
Ushi Mazo Naba.
Orbitaney, Crimbo, Jilorbarenka, Plonide, Varpasab, Essenoi Florib, Bibidoy, Abin, Dalish Chibs, Mushka
Did you see that? I think Grandpa brought a dryer home.
Brought the dryer that was at the other house.
Oh, cause I know I was laying in bed and I was on my phone, and then out of nowhere you hear something getting pushed in to the house. And I opened the blinds where the window is, and all you see is the truck backed up all the way by the thing.
Yeah. We brought the dryer from the other house so that I can use it here.
Mm.
Quema Chibs.
Yep.
Joe, moom for more.
Quis to be yix. Bibitan Dalish.
Why, I know Yori.
What are you doing, Nana?
Ah. Oh, fire.
I can't. And then you wanna get hit.
Huh?
Okay. Is he really trying so hard to go up there? Do you see me? I pushed her from underneath the TV.
How long has she been hyper like that?
I have no clue.
I've been all week.
She's Need for Speed. Look at her. Should I give her some catnip? Come here, Luna.
Sanitarias de Estados Unidos aprobaron el uso de un medicamento que combate los síntomas de la variante Omicron. Es un fármaco de anticuerpos producido por la farmacéutica Eli Lilly, del que ya se habrían adquirido 600,000 dosis. Y desde Miami, Florida, Danay Rivero nos tiene todos los detalles.
Los estadounidenses muy pronto verán la primera dosis de un fármaco que se aprobó por las autoridades sanitarias para combatir específicamente la variante Omicron del COVID-19.
Este nuevo medicamento está bien para la gente que sí, tiene miedo del COVID, para que no haga más casos, más muertes, cosas así.
Se trata de un nuevo medicamento de anticuerpos, Bactelovimab, de la farmacéutica Eli Lilly para pacientes adultos y adolescentes con COVID-19 de leve a moderado.
Este medicamento nuevo refleja y funciona en las variantes que tenemos actualmente. Cuando vino Omicron, perdimos muchos de los medicamentos que teníamos desde noviembre del 2020. Así que con este medicamento nuevo tenemos un arsenal nuevo que saca las variantes que tenemos circulando actualmente.
Para que resulte, la medicina se debe suministrar dentro de los primeros 10 días de tener síntomas y se aplica vía intravenosa o por inyección. Pero todos se muestran optimistas con la noticia.
El Omicron para mí ha sido muy leve, pero ya se han ido por otros lados, así que me da lo mismo.
Sin embargo, los científicos insisten en su uso y efectividad.
Específicamente son para personas que tienen alto riesgo de estar hospitalizados, personas mayor de edad, personas con problemas médicos como hipertensión, diabetes y también personas con sobrepeso.
Estados Unidos recibirá
You
la
okay?
primera mitad de los tratamientos del nuevo medicamento de anticuerpos durante este mes de febrero y el resto en marzo, luego de firmar un contrato con la compañía de al menos $720 millones. Por su parte, el gobierno de Biden adquirió 600,000 dosis de este fármaco para luego distribuirlo a los a la población. Desde Miami, Florida, Danay Rivero, Univision.
Y siguiendo con el tema, en Nueva York se venció el plazo para que los empleados públicos se vacunaran si no podían perder su trabajo. Una apelación de última hora interpuesta por los maestros fue rechazada. Desde la Gran Manzana, Penny Carranza tiene más sobre esta situación y el regreso de un popular programa que ofrece dinero por vacunas.
La vacunación de la ciudad de Nueva York sufrió un nuevo revés. La Corte Suprema de Justicia, a través de una decisión emitida por la jueza Sonia Sotomayor, rechazó la petición de un grupo de maestros que buscaba bloquear el mandato, diciendo que era discriminatorio al negar ciertas excepciones religiosas. Ocurrió al tiempo que llegó la hora cero para miles de trabajadores municipales que debían vacunarse o serían despedidos. Esta maestra con 23 años de carrera dice que se trata de respeto.
El argumento más grande que tengo es que este es mi cuerpo que me lo dio Dios. Y Él me dio a mí el derecho de decidir qué es lo que yo quiero hacer con mi cuerpo.
Mientras, el argumento de la municipalidad es que si los empleados públicos no se vacunan, ponen en riesgo su salud y la de otros. precisamente para aumentar las tasas de inmunización. Hoy el alcalde Eric Adams relanzó el popular programa que ofrece $100 a quienes reciban la primera dosis o la de refuerzo, lo que le cayó como anillo al dedo a Darío Vázquez.
Tienes que llamar por teléfono, ellos te dicen dónde recogerlo o te lo mandan por el correo.
El incentivo será a través de una tarjeta prepagada
What?
que se ofrecerá
She's
hasta el
looking.
28 de febrero. 800,000
What are you doing?
tarjetas han sido
Huh?
distribuidas desde julio.
Pues la verdad que a cualquiera le ayuda un poco económicamente el incentivo que están ofreciendo.
El alcalde Adams dijo que algunos trabajadores municipales han esperado hasta último minuto para vacunarse y que el número de despidos podría revelarse durante el fin de semana. En la ciudad de Nueva York, Peggy Carranza, Univision. Y tras una semana de bloqueo, hoy se reabrió el puente fronterizo Ambassador que cruza el río entre Detroit y Windsor, Ontario, el más importante entre estados.
I thought you were hitting her.
Estuvieron bloqueadas la vía protestando contra
What's she doing?
La policía intervino este sábado y los manifestantes se retiraron sin ofrecer resistencia. El bloqueo interrumpió el flujo de mercancías entre los dos
Go, Lena,
países y
jump.
obligó a la industria automotriz de ambos lados a reducir su producción.
You just play with him. Jump. She's just like, nope.
Los trabajadores no vacunados y los que trabajan en farmacias seguirán estando obligados a llevarla. Los cambios entran en vigor para todas las tiendas, al menos lo que exige el Estado o el gobierno federal. Además, también se elimina la política de pago por enfermedad de COVID-19 a partir de marzo.
Y 4 personas resultaron heridas en un tiroteo en el exterior de un restaurante de West Hollywood después de un enfrentamiento. Los hechos ocurrieron cerca de una fiesta organizada por el cantante Justin Bieber previa al Super Bowl. El incidente de madrugada resultó herido el rapero Kodak Black. Horas antes, él habría estado en la fiesta compartiendo con otras estrellas, entre ellas el actor Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, Kendall Jenner y Khloe Kardashian.
Y los aficionados al fútbol americano están contando las horas para la celebración de esta edición 56 del Super Bowl, que después de 30 años vuelve a celebrarse en Los Ángeles, California, como nos cuenta Romero Díaz. Para los residentes y los negocios de Inglewood, entre los que hay muchos hispanos, el evento ha supuesto una enorme inyección de dinero muy necesaria en este momento.
El entusiasmo por el
Stop,
Super Bowl
Luna.
ha invadido todos los rincones del sur de California, pero la ciudad de Inglewood, casa del estadio SoFi,
Now she's in heat, Grandma.
con el beneficio que esto simboliza para sus negocios.
Aparte de solamente el apoyo de los Rams, sino afiliados que están en el SoFi Stadium, cuando hay conciertos, hay otro tipo de eventos en el SoFi. La gente ya sabe de nosotros porque nos pusieron en una lista que somos uno de los 10 mejores lugares donde comer cuando vienen a visitar a SoFi.
Como muchos inmigrantes, en el 2013 Gustavo Chávez empezó vendiendo carnitas desde su casa y eventualmente abrió un puesto en la calle. Pero hace 8 meses, en medio de la pandemia, Carnitas, el artista, abrió sus puertas. El equipo de fútbol le dio su apoyo, convirtiéndolo en casa oficial de los Rams.
Nos invitaron al estado, fui con mi hijo, nos hicieron una historia y nos pusieron el Infinity Screen dentro del SoFi Stadium a medio tiempo cuando jugaron contra los Buccaneers.
Un estudio pagado por la Comisión de Deportes y Entretenimiento de Los Ángeles proyectó que el juego del domingo podría generar hasta $470 millones para la economía de esta región. Con solo 8 meses de abrir su negocio, María González está preparada con flores, globos y decoración de los Rams para el Super Bowl.
En realidad fue idea de todos nosotros. De meter al azul y al amarillo. Son fanáticos de los Rams. Entonces,
Jesus Christ.
al equipo, a la ciudad, a los fanáticos.
El anticipado evento no solo está generando trabajo e ingresos para Inglewood, también esperanzas para dueños de negocios latinos.
La pandemia nos hizo ser fuertes y tratar de salir adelante. No sé, son señales de Dios como estás por el camino, échale ganas y que ellos se motiven, los hijos, que aprendan y que sepan que nunca estamos caídos, hechos de se levanten.
Desde Inglewood, California, Romero Frías, Univision.
Y por otro lado, entre los inconvenientes que encuentran los inmigrantes cuando llegan a este país, el idioma es uno de los impedimentos que les dificulta adaptarse y progresar. Pero durante la pandemia hay algunos que se movilizaron
Luna, what's
para
wrong
pedir
with
y
you?
exigir que se destinen fondos para traducciones de documentos sobre ayudas federales que a menudo no llegan a quienes más las necesitan. Claudia Uceda nos amplía desde Washington. Este pequeño y su mamá ahora juegan, pero durante la pandemia se sentían acorralados. Y uno como mamá no quiere no comer, no había trabajo y no tenían que comer. Ella hizo lo que nunca imaginó, como pedir cupones de alimentos. Pero en el intento se tropezó con un obstáculo. Fui a una oficina y tenían solamente planillas en inglés. Me tuve que regresar porque no entendía lo que ahí especificaba. Esta otra hispana buscó beneficiarse de los préstamos del gobierno para pequeñas empresas, conocido como PPP, pero no tuvo éxito porque faltaba información en español en la página web.
Cuando ya llegamos a averiguar que si calificábamos o no calificábamos, ya no había recursos.
19 senadores demócratas hoy mandaron una carta al fiscal general del país urgiéndole
Marco
a que
Gorbey,
emita una
you
directiva
about
para
Gower.
que las agencias federales actualicen su plan de rescate federal.
Nuestro país merecen tener acceso a servicios vitales de nuestro gobierno en su idioma.
Indican que faltan más formularios en español impresos en oficinas y en las páginas web de las agencias.
Lo mismo pasa cuando hay padres tratando de acceder a ayudas como lo que es WIC o Medicaid.
Muchos de los recursos de las agencias no se habían actualizado desde hace más de 10 años. Quienes se oponen dicen que es un mal gasto del dinero. Indican no estar en contra del servicio esencial en otro idioma. Pero afirman que ese dinero que se utiliza en traducción se puede utilizar para que muchos aprendan inglés. En Washington, Claudio Cero.
Muere en Nicaragua un destacado preso político y ex guerrillero histórico del sandinismo.
Y a pesar de los problemas de suministro, las flores de muchos países hispanos llegan a Estados Unidos para celebrarnos el día de San Valentín.
Esta señora al punto, ¿es esto una rebelión violenta o solo una protesta política legítima, como dice el Partido Republicano? Hablamos con el vocero del partido para los hispanos. Hay confusión sobre el uso de máscaras y más en las escuelas. ¿Qué hacer este lunes con nuestros hijos? Se lo preguntamos a una pediatra. Hay muchos latinos que no hablan español, pero hay un creciente movimiento para que lo intenten sin pena. Veremos por qué hablar Spanish. Es correcto. Y en el nuevo poder latino, pues Dreamer y hoy ayuda a más de 3 millones de inmigrantes en la ciudad de Nueva York. Todo en el punto.
Certificado desde el faro se descarga, es decir, mirada certificada. Y con garantía de kilometraje ilimitado. Eso significa tranquilidad en Internet. Certificado. Traducción. El consejo de sus sueños. Este lunes, en el espectacular penúltimo capítulo de la maldad dará su mayor golpe. Mátalo en Cero el pasado, especial este lunes a las 9 y su gran final este martes.
Nuestros 14 talleres ofrecen lo mejor en mantenimiento y reparaciones y precios competitivos. Confiamos en eso. Le damos una inspección multipunto gratis para darle tranquilidad de que su vehículo esté en las mejores condiciones. Para todos tus servicios.
No todos quieren experiencia en finanzas. ¿Saben cómo aplicar por un préstamo? Muchas compañías te complican la vida con tu seguro social, una cuenta de banco, pero no Grupo Estrella. Si necesitas dinero, llama al Grupo Estrella 833-346-3700. Llama ahora. Mejora tu futuro. Establece tu crédito con Grupo Estrella. Si necesitas un préstamo, llama 833-346-3700. Es fácil de aplicar.
Esta parece la primera vez que
Beneficio. Eso es una noche, la fecha es feliz.
No.
Desde Los
Pelón, ¿qué estás haciendo?
Shakira, arena, sol y chela. Turisteando, mijita.
Ay, qué padre, ustedes se van limpiando y yo aquí batallando con los biles.
Oh, sorry for you.
Oh, what are you watching? All I heard was cheating.
Si no te alcanza para los biles, no consigas un part-time. Porque bueno, mamá, la que peor te los paga.
Oh.
Por la que buena.
Al rato que vieron de Acapulco, las hoteles casi nos corren. En Quake te ofrecemos lo mejor en mantenimiento y reparación. Todos nuestros talleres están equipados con las herramientas y tecnología más nuevas. Y todas las reparaciones son hechas por técnicos certificados. Si su carro ocupa quedarse la noche en el taller, tenemos coches de préstamo disponibles. Las cicatrices no son para toda la vida. Javier, ¿ya lo comprobó?
Me dio apendicitis y tuve que operarme de urgencia. Y la verdad es que lo peor vino después porque la cicatriz era horrible. Una amiga me recomendó cicatricure gel, así que después de un par de semanas obtengo el color y la textura de mi cicatriz, mejorando visiblemente el tono de mi piel. Y la verdad es que la cicatriz casi ni se nota.
Historias reales, resultados reales. Ahora que cicatrizó, quiero que se desvanezca. Encuéntranos en Walgreens.
Este lunes,
Es 14 de febrero.
nuestras historias llegan al corazón. Brindan esperanza.
Me voy a recibir un beso de amor.
Regalan abrazos. Despiertas. Y en un penúltimo capítulo de 2 horas de vencer el pasado, la historia puede cambiar. Este lunes, a partir de las 7, por Univisión.
En Nicaragua, el preso político y ex guerrillero histórico del sandinismo, el general en retiro Hugo Torres, falleció hoy en la cárcel, donde estaba preso por el régimen de Daniel Ortega. De 73 años, es el primer preso político que muere en manos de la Policía Nacional, de los 47 que fueron arrestados el año pasado, previo a las elecciones generales. Murió sin enfrentar un juicio político.
La policía francesa disparó gases lacrimógenos contra manifestantes en la avenida de los Campos Elíseos y otros lugares de París, después de que un convoy de la libertad que protestaba contra las restricciones del COVID-19 llegara a la capital. Los vehículos que transportaban a los manifestantes consiguieron atravesar los controles policiales y colapsaron el tráfico. La policía dijo que había detenido a 14 personas y repartido 337 multas.
Por su parte, en Alemania, cerca de 3.000 personas también protestaron en Frankfurt contra la vacunación obligatoria y las restricciones del gobierno por el COVID. Los manifestantes llevaban pancartas con mensajes pidiendo opciones de vacunación. Este viernes, el Tribunal Supremo alemán rechazó las peticiones de emergencia presentadas con un mandato de vacunación que obliga al personal sanitario a vacunarse.
Se acerca el día de San Valentín, el día del amor y la amistad, y como todos los años, miles de personas se preparan para comprar flores, lo que algunos consideran el regalo perfecto. Pero ¿de dónde vienen estas flores? ¿Quiénes las cultivan? A continuación les tengo las respuestas y otros detalles de este negocio que da tantas alegrías y está generando muchos empleos.
En mi casa siempre hay flores naturales, algo que mi mamá siempre me enseñó, así que sí, pagamos un poquito más por las flores.
Dicen que las flores alegran el alma. Tras más de 2 años de pandemia, inflación y retrasos en la cadena de suministros, el negocio de las flores parece haber florecido.
El año pasado fue excepcional, el año pasado sí también, porque a pesar que todos los malls, los restaurantes estaban cerrados, la gente quería flores, quería salir a comprar, tener su casa llena de flores, entonces las ventas fueron buenísimas.
Colombia y Ecuador se han convertido en 2 de los países más importantes en el cultivo de flores, y este próximo 14 de febrero, día de San Valentín, es la fecha donde exportan el mayor número de rosas. Solo Colombia espera enviar a Estados Unidos, Japón y España más de 600 millones de tallos.
Del 2021 al 2022 se espera un crecimiento entre el 16 y 20%.
En esta finca Pitania Sunshine, a las afueras de Bogotá, Colombia, 63 hectáreas se han destinado para el cultivo de 104 variedades de rosas.
La mejor flor es la que sacamos de 48 hacia adelante, 60, 70, 80 centímetros, es la mejor flor de calidad para exportar.
Después de 32 semanas de haberlas plantado, 2.000 campesinos como Fred y Alexander se encargan de podar las rosas con el tallo más largo y organizarlas en ramos de acuerdo a su longitud, para luego llevarlas a un cuarto con temperatura de 39 grados, donde permanecen apenas unas horas antes de ser transportadas hasta el Aeropuerto Internacional El Dorado de Bogotá.
En Colombia tenemos la oportunidad de ofrecer servicio al de cabina ancha, a Dallas y a Miami, que nos permiten no solamente llevar flores a Estados Unidos, sino también conectar a Europa y Asia, destinos como Tokio, Madrid, Londres.
Aerolíneas como American Airlines logran transportar a diario muchas de estas flores en sus vuelos comerciales. Su área de cargo tiene capacidad hasta para 15 toneladas de flores.
¿Y qué pasa cuando las flores llegan a suelo estadounidense? ¿Cómo logran mantener su frescura sin romper el bolsillo de sus amantes? Eso se los tengo en la segunda parte de Rosas y Amor, impulsando la economía.
Así que Mikey nos tendrá más flores para todos. Y en los deportes, malas noticias en el campamento de España. Tan solo un día del Super Bowl y en el fútbol español, el Atlético de Madrid acaba ganando al Getafe en un partido loco con 7 goles y 3 penales. Memo Zavala con los deportes. Muchas gracias, compañeros, qué gusto saludarlos. Aquí estamos y vamos a viajar hasta la sede del Super Bowl porque mañana conoceremos al nuevo campeón de la NFL y Memo Schultz nos tiene el reporte.
¿Cómo están? Saludos desde Los Ángeles, California, a unas horas de que se realice el Super Bowl 56 en el espectacular SoFi Stadium. Información de último momento para la escuadra de los Rams. Una muy mala noticia y es que su ala cerrada titular, Tyler Higbee, no va a poder estar presente en el Super Domingo, así que Matthew Stafford tendrá que buscar mucho más a Cooper Kupp, a su receptor favorito, y también a Odell Beckham Jr., pero Higbee entonces está descartado. En el caso de los bengalíes, pues llegan al 100%, estarán todas sus estrellas. Nos despedimos, que les vaya bien.
Y agárrense porque iniciamos con la feria de goles en el Atlético de Madrid contra Getafe. Ángel Correa pone al Atlético adelante al minuto 20, luego Mateus Cunha hace 2-0. Sin embargo, Borja Mayoral hace este gol para poner el 2-1. En Estunar 2 veces anota y empata el partido finalmente, haciendo primero el 3-2, luego el 3-3. Ángel Correa estaría cerrando así la primera parte. Todo esto fue en el primer tiempo. Sin embargo, ya al final del partido, Mario Hermoso, al 89, hace el 4-3, gana el Atlético de Madrid. Definitivamente una feria de goles este sabadito. Regresamos con ustedes. Un abrazo para todos.
Igualmente para ti, vamos a hacer una breve pausa y al regresar comienza el Carnaval de Venecia en Italia y miles acuden a disfrutar de la festividad.
¿Qué secretos guardan los archivos militares en México? Sobrevivientes de los desaparecidos de la Guerra Sucia exigen que se abran. Que ha hecho que decenas de hombres y mujeres arriesguen sus vidas para proteger los restos. Este padre de familia está pedaleando por el mundo para llegar a tiempo a una cita importante. Lo que podemos aprender de la presentadora Arana Lemus, cómo hacer de las dificultades una inspiración. Aquí y ahora, este domingo a las 7 de la noche, 6 de enero.
Las cicatrices no siempre son para toda la vida. Carlos nos cuenta su historia.
Hace un tiempo me quemé con el tubo de escape de la moto, acá en la pantorrilla. Y me quedó una cicatriz bastante fea que pensé que me iba a durar toda la vida. Mi novia me pasó su Cicatricure Gel y lo usé durante varias semanas todos los días. La cicatriz fue atenuando y se mejoró visiblemente la uniformidad del tono de mi piel. Prácticamente ya no se ve. Estoy súper contento con los resultados.
Historias reales, resultados reales.
Ahora que cicatrizó, quiero que se desvanezca. Cicatricure Gel. Encuéntranos en Walgreens.
Será una noche llena de emoción. ¡Wow! Y cuando van a descubrir el personaje, algo pasa. ¿Quién es la máscara? Mañana a las 8 por Univisión.
Miles de mujeres con cáncer de mama metastásico viven cada momento y toman Ibrance. Ibrance Feminidor de aromatasa es una terapia inicial basada en hormonas para mujeres posmenopáusicas o hombres con cáncer de mama metastásico, HER positivo y HER2 negativo. Ibrance con letrozol retardó significativamente la progresión de la enfermedad comparado con letrozol. Ibrance puede causar conteos bajos de glóbulos blancos que
I had to pick up Jeremiah.
puede provocar inflamación pulmonar grave. Ambas cosas
Jeremiah wants me to pick him up. his friend's house.
Where's his friend at?
I don't know.
Aprovecha cada momento. Consulta con tu médico sobre Adams.
Here's this like, can you pick me up?
Como la familia de Los Ángeles dependen de ti para recibir dinero, ¿en quién confías para enviar tus transferencias de dinero seguras y económicas? Vía Money Transfer ofrece una garantía de satisfacción del 100%, por lo que puedes estar seguro de que tu dinero se entregará de forma segura y sin complicaciones. Si no estás satisfecho con nuestro servicio, simplemente llámanos dentro de los 30 días de haber realizado el pago de la transferencia de dinero y solicita el reembolso de la tarifa.
His friend lives between Mesquite and Branch Springs.
Tengo conversando casi 2 años. ¿Se debería ser obligatorio el uso de tapabocas en las escuelas?
La alternativa es tomar una desviación por la carretera 114, que es esta, el pico. Lo proyectaron la semana pasada con alrededor de 1,400 hospitalizaciones para
Probably, I don't know.
a unas 700.
Son las temperaturas que vamos a ver a las 7 de la mañana cuando salgan.
He was like, my dad would pay you for gas money if you come and get me.
Honramos el mes de la historia afroamericana.
¿Y qué les parece, Félix, si nos vamos hasta Italia? Ahí miles de personas acudieron a Venecia hoy para dar el inicio a las celebraciones anuales del carnaval, marcando así una lenta pero segura vuelta a la normalidad, después de que la pandemia impidiera la normalidad de las 2 ediciones anteriores.
Y es que la tasa de nuevos contagios y hospitalizaciones por COVID-19 en Italia ha ido disminuyendo paulatinamente en las últimas semanas, lo que ha llevado a las autoridades a levantar esta semana la obligación, por ejemplo, de llevar mascarillas. Ahora tienen las máscaras de carnaval en la mayoría de las circunstancias. Así que poco a poco vamos recuperando la normalidad, todavía hay que cuidarse, estar alerta, pero ahí vamos bien.
Y estar informados, así que los esperamos a las 11:30 aquí en su noticiero Univisión.
Descansen.
Televisa presenta. Una familia El miserable explotador de Don Justo me quiso descontar el sueldo de mis vacaciones.
¿Cómo? ¿Regresaste a trabajar con Don Justo? Qué pena por ti, Plácido. Lamento mucho tu situación, sobre todo porque hoy te toca pagar mi medicina.
Vieja aprovechada. No le expliques a mi hijo lo poco que tiene. Para que me mande mi docena de tamales oaxaqueños. ¿Qué docena de tamales oaxaqueños? Ni qué Bad Bunny tomando clases de dicción con Jordi Rosado.
Pues Bad Bunny, Daddy.
Eso dije, ratón Miguelito, como se llama. Mi vida penta, esto es una pesadilla. Ok, yo quiero que se veas. ¿Y tú, mi Ciris?
Ay, yo quiero que sea mi tlacoche.
He's off of Ruby and Clark.
I know, I already have the address.
No, es una pesadilla.
Jeremiah sent me it. I'm just waiting because I gotta go use the restroom now.
Tienes que ponerte a buscar un trabajo o vender tu alma al diablo para poder pagarme esos 5 meses de renta que me debes.
¿En serio?
Este es un caso de que soy irreal.
¿Qué nada? Ay, Renata, se me apareció. Sí, una piñata, se me apareció en mi sueño.
Ay,
Dile que le pague la renta.
ay, se le paga si ya.
Ay, por favor. Es más fácil que abra la segunda caja del Oxxo ahora que yo consiga dinero para pagarle. Ay, Dios mío, me van a correr.
Luna!
On a 6 advanced safety feature standard on every 2022 Chevy Equinox. Fine.
Right, Sarah. But most people haven't heard of it. Why do you think people don't know so much about this place?
People didn't want this school in this community. You know, a lot of prejudice and racism was going on.
The land St. Emma sits on, known as Bellmead,
Ow.
has a dark past.
Ow.
St. Emma's buildings and
Ow.
corresponding all-girls schools in Francis de Sales were built by enslaved people. And unknown to Walker and Butler until after they graduated, 130 of those people were buried right here.
You're standing on the shoulders of those people.
St. Emma shut its doors 50 years ago, and shortly after, many of the dozens of buildings were bulldozed.
It's been hard for us to come here to see that was nothing left.
The two friends have been on a long mission to keep the story of St. Emma and St. Francis alive through tours and contributing artifacts to be reviewed for admission into the African American History Museum in the nation's capital. Embodying the lessons learned on this land.
This was an area of enslavement.
Andrew, we're working.
Shanibi.
To tell the story to generations to come. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Powhatan, Virginia.
And generations will be better off knowing that beautiful story. That is the CBS Weekend News for this Saturday. Don't forget Sunday morning with Jane Pauley, first thing tomorrow, followed by Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan and the latest on the Ukraine crisis. I'm Lisa Jane in New York.
Prowess, Redishay, Gongoliath, Rengo, Yazov.
Somebody who has been brave and strong. Ken Paxton, by complete and total endorsement. Ken Paxton, Conservative Attorney General. When Joe Biden stopped deporting illegal immigrants, Ken Paxton took him to court and won, and a federal judge ordered deportations to continue. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, defending the Constitution, protecting our freedom.
You love your home, and it shows. It's your biggest investment and the heartbeat of family life. So show your home some love with windows from Window World. Beautiful inside and out, Window World windows are weatherproof, add value to your home, and can lower energy bills. What's not to love about that? Don't wait to renovate, because when you show your home some love with Window World, it shows. Call today for your free estimate at 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. Window World.
Live from Dallas and Fort Worth, this is CBS 11 News at 6.
We thank you so very much for joining us. I'm Steve Pickett. This is CBS 11 News at 6 o'clock. And yes, folks, look at that. Snow. Yes, snow for some North Texans. Cold weather kicking back in today. These pictures coming from Colleen Case over in East Texas, over there in Athens. And once again, folks, more changes just around the corner weather-wise. Meteorologist Blake Matthews joining us now with our first look at the forecast.
Yeah, surprising because the GFS model is the only model that had snowfall in the forecast. All the other ones, including the European and the Canadian, said no dice. So GFS has been on its game. It was also the first model that picked up on the big winter storm we had just a week and a half ago. So pretty good model. Did a very good job for this particular season. You see the satellite and radar here as the snow moved in across our northern counties, then really it got heavy down towards Athens and Palestine and areas out towards East Texas. So the snow has come to an end. In fact, check out this time lapse here over Fort Worth. You'll see we started off gloomy this morning. And watch how it just all moved out. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous day here across the region, shaping up to be a beautiful night as well. Temperatures right now are like the snow. Maybe go outside. There's nothing. Remember at almost every single recording site. So as we head into the evening hours tonight, look for temperatures to drop down pretty close to freezing as we head into the midnight hour. And then as we head into tomorrow, lots of sunshine, temperatures rebounding into the 60s. But Steve, we're talking about a big warm-up and a lot of rain headed our way. All that and more in a few minutes.
Rain, okay, that's not bad. A lot of folks need it, of course. All right, thank you, Blake. We appreciate it. It was a shocking, horrible act few in Dallas will ever forget. Today, a statement of remembrance for the victim of that act. A statue honoring the Dallas boy murdered by a Dallas police officer almost 50 years ago. That statue now sits in Dallas's Pike Park. The killing of Santos Rodriguez back in 1973 became another dark moment in Dallas history. Our Kennedy Walker attending the special ceremony today as Santos' story.
Dallas.
Flowers
Workers rest on the new statue of Santos Rodriguez in Hyde Park. The 12-year-old was shot and killed nearly 50 years ago by a Dallas police officer in a game of Russian roulette.
He thought that someone was stealing something.
Did not only shake our city, but it shook the nation. In 1973, officers yanked Santos and his brother out of bed in hopes of getting them to confess to stealing from a gas station. His killer, former officer Daryl Kane, only served 2.5 years in prison. The incident became a pivotal moment in Dallas' history. Hundreds marched in protest.
The murder of Santos Rodriguez was a shame on our city. And it was a disgrace to the honorable men and women who proudly served the Dallas Police Department.
The city of Dallas honored Santos' life. Mayor Eric Johnson declared February 12th as Santos Rodriguez Day, and hundreds paid tribute to him.
It's a long time overdue.
Santos' mother, Bessie Rodriguez, was there. She stared in awe at the 6-foot creation that stands in the same park her little boy used to play. The statue shows a boy smiling with his arms stretched wide. City leaders say while the statue and the recreational center in his name can't bring Santos back, they're hoping this tragedy continues to spark change.
With darkness brings light. My hope is that this begins the healing process.
In Dallas, Kennedy Walker, CBS 11 News.
We also know that the sculptor who was working on that statue, he actually took this action. He had the mother of Santos Rodriguez press her thumb into the palm of that statue, leaving her print there permanently. A police shooting in Mesquite, sending a man to the hospital overnight. Officers getting a call, they say, from someone at the Annex Apartments. This is on Samuel Boulevard just after midnight, saying a man was trying to kick in a door. Now, 2 officers say that man took off running when they saw him, when they saw those officers. Now, while running through that parking lot, police tell us those officers fired multiple times. That victim was taken to the hospital. He's listed in stable condition. Police do tell us a gun was recovered at the scene, but they do not say if that man actually pointed that gun toward officers. Days before 2022's first primary for the state of Texas, a U.S. district judge has now ruled Texas cannot enforce new ballot mail-in rules for Harris County, the Houston area. New state rules made it a crime for election officials to proactively help voters get a ballot by mail. Now, back in 2020, Harris County sent out more than 2 million mail-in ballot applications. The state is expected to appeal this ruling. The head of the U.S. Small Business Administration, with a quick tour of North Texas today, Administrator Isabella Casillas Guzman visited with businesses in Richardson and Dallas's Lower Greenville area today. She talked with business operators about funding options and how the Biden administration hopes to help with ongoing supply chain issues.
The SBA has put out $34 billion in relief just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And that sizable impact is made possible, and the types of businesses we've been able to reach has been made possible by the partnerships on the ground.
The congressman in this area where they were visiting today, Colin Allred, also part of this event, he says the federal government has provided a total of more than $21 million to 60 restaurants in his district. We are less than 24 hours away from the Super Bowl. The local businesses here in North Texas, of course, gearing up for one of their busiest days of the year. But it comes as many are still dealing with staffing issues caused by the COVID pandemic. Our Alexis Wainwright, she joins us live now from Dallas, where she's spoken to some local businesses about how they're preparing, trying to find some help here, Alexis, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Steve. When it comes to the Super Bowl, several businesses say it's all hands on deck when it comes to the Super Bowl and those huge crowds that they expect. Now, tonight we spoke with Roundtable Pizza, and they said they've still been dealing with some labor shortages. The owner tells me a lot of people just don't want to work right now, or they don't like the pay. Since they expect a huge crowd inside and a lot of pickup and delivery orders, they have majority of their staff working to help with the demand.
Everybody who's available to work, who don't go to church, can't work on Sundays, we'll be here working. We get all our stuff prepped early.
And the goal is to prepare as early as possible. That means for this restaurant in specifically, they have to come in early to get some of that fresh dough.
And they also have to pack some of their pizza boxes early. Now, they aren't the only ones dealing with some of these issues. Coming up tonight at 10 here on CBS 11, we'll tell you what other restaurants are doing to prepare and some of the positions they're struggling to fill. But for now, reporting live in Dallas, Alexis Wainwright, CBS 11 News.
Yes, have a feeling that all of these places will be a little busy tomorrow. Okay, Alexis, thank you. Coming up next, details on a new antibody drug for COVID. Just approved of being shipped out now to states. And police moving on the Canadian trucker protest, blocking the busiest land border crossing in North America. Plus, a little bit terrified of what's ahead of us.
Living outside.
Check into that for 2 weeks.
These 9 celebrities are about to test themselves in the unforgiving jungle. It's only going to get harder.
I've never given up.
I'm done is not an option.
I'm a warrior.
When Laura vowed to love me, she wasn't thinking about cancer. I'm just grateful my team of experts at Texas Oncology is close by, so I can still start my mornings right here. I'll see you all tonight.
We are asking people to describe Golden Chick's amazing deals in one word.
Incredible.
Awesome. I promise. It's back. Golden Chick's 9-piece legs and thighs with family mashed potatoes. Just $14.99. Golden Chick. I couldn't choreograph that any better.
My name is Austin James. As a musician living with diabetes, finger sticks can be a real challenge. That's why I use the Freestyle Libre 2 system. With a painless 1-second scan, I know my glucose numbers without finger sticks. Now I'm managing my diabetes better, and I've lowered my A1C from 8.2 to 6.7.
Take the mystery out of managing your diabetes and lower your A1C. Now you know. Try it for free at freestylelibre.us.
There's a clear and present danger in neighborhoods like this. It's deadly fentanyl, and it's killing our kids. How's it getting here?
Right here, through our border. That's why Governor Abbott deployed the National Guard to assist law enforcement at the border. He's given us new authority to arrest trespassers and has increased jail capacity to handle criminal arrests. Joe Biden should be securing this border, but he won't.
That's why Governor Abbott is getting the job done. Today, Canadian police started clearing protesters blocking that bridge connecting Canada with the United States. The Ambassador Bridge is the busiest land border crossing in North America. No one has been able to get across that bridge for the past 5 days. Now, in fact, automakers in Detroit had to roll back production because they were missing so many shipments. These convoy protests against Canadian COVID vaccine and mask mandates have been going on there for 3 weeks. There is a new antibody drug just approved for treatment for those whose COVID illness is tied to the Omicron variant. Researchers with Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals began working on this new drug last year after tests showed other versions were not as effective against Omicron. The Biden administration already purchased 600,000 doses. They're being shipped out to states for distribution. The drug is designed to prevent hospitalization and death for adults and adolescents facing COVID. Walmart will no longer require vaccinated employees to wear masks. The new rule goes into effect for all states unless masks are actually required by that state or local government. It does not apply to unvaccinated employees or people working in Walmart pharmacy sections. Walmart also announced it is eliminating its COVID sick pay policy in March. Coming up next, details on a phone call between the president and Vladimir Putin. What Biden said would happen if Russia decides to invade Ukraine.
Kroger delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop any way. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Join DQ in celebrating 75 years in Texas. For a limited time, get a DQ sandwich treat for just 75 cents when you buy any burger combo at regular price. That's what I like about Texas.
Oh, wow. We're recording.
Good morning.
Sorry, but we don't need any business up now. We're
Gagillionaires.
What?
We're gagillionaires now.
I don't get it.
We have AT&T Business Fiber with hypergig speeds. So thanks. We're doing great.
I'm so happy for you, but I'm just here for my order.
Oh. Entrepreneurs?
You know my bowling team.
I like it.
It's money and puns.
Do business like a gagillionaire. AT&T Business Fiber now with speeds up to 5 gigs. Limited availability.
It's time for the ultimate Sleep Number event on the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. What if I sleep bad?
Or cold.
No problem. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is temperature balancing, so you both sleep just right. And it senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Yes, you'll know exactly how well you slept, night after night. We take care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition Smart Bed, plus 0% interest for 24 months and free premium delivery when you add base. Ends Monday. Sight and Sound Theaters presents the greatest rescue story of all time.
Who exactly is he?
He's a miracle worker, a prophet. Return for one last encore season. Jesus, live on stage in Branson, Missouri.
A boots-on-the-ground approach. That's how Republican Betsy Price has always led. As our next Tarrant County judge, you'll find her not behind the desk, but rather working with families, listening to taxpayers, promoting small businesses. This positive, hands-on approach as Fort Worth mayor helped her cut waste, reduce property tax rates, and stop efforts to defund our police. Betsy Price, for Tarrant County judge, the conservative results we've been waiting for.
At Kroger, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's supposed to be a safety net for what insurance doesn't cover. But a year after a winter storm caused billions in damage, we got a little over $100. Correct. That's why the I-Team was digging for answers. Monday on CBS 11 News at 10.
Today, President Joe Biden speaking on the phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin, telling him invading Ukraine would cause, quote, widespread human suffering, unquote, and bring swift and severe costs for Russia. CBS News correspondent Michael George has the latest on the tense standoff now at the Russian-Ukraine border.
As Ukrainians protest in the streets of Kyiv, the U.S. is removing staff from its embassy there as the threat of a Russian invasion ramps up. During an hour-long call Saturday, President Biden warned Russian President Vladimir Putin that the U.S. would respond decisively, imposing swift and severe costs on Russia if it attacks Ukraine. The White House said in a statement the president was clear that the U.S. and its allies remain prepared to engage in diplomacy, but are equally prepared for other scenarios. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says U.S. intelligence shows that an invasion could begin within days and before the Winter Olympics in Beijing end February 20th.
If you look at the disposition of forces in both Belarus and in Russia on the other side of the Ukrainian border, from the north, from the east, the Russians are in a position to be able to mount a major military action in Ukraine any day now.
American officials estimate about 80% of the forces Russia will need to launch a full-scale invasion are in place, and the rest are en route. Ukraine's president says his country is on edge.
The best friend for enemies, that is panic in our country. And all this information that helps only for panic doesn't help us.
Ukraine is holding military drills just miles from its border with Crimea, which Russia took control from Ukraine in 2014. Michael George, CBS News.
We are also told to expect a phone call between the President Biden, and the President of Ukraine as well. The Russian-Ukrainian crisis already impacting gas prices here in the U.S. The fear is Russia could react to potential Western sanctions by withholding crude oil from an already tight global market. Right now, the average cost for a gallon of unleaded here in the state of Texas is $3.15. That is 25 cents more than what we were paying just a month ago and nearly $1 more than just a year ago. Here at 6:16 now, checking our first alert weather team. Here, Blake, talking about snow earlier today. And 70 here the next couple of days, possibly.
Before another cold front comes through, bring possibly another chance of some wintry weather to some parts of North Texas. And we'll show you that coming up in your 7-day. On this date, way back in 1899, The temperature in Dallas-Fort Worth dropping to 8 degrees below zero. Can you imagine? That is the all-time coldest temperature ever recorded here in North Texas. So our cold weather that we saw this morning and this afternoon pales in comparison. But we did pick up our third snowfall of the season officially at Dallas-Fort Worth International, coming in at a trace. Basically what that means is snowflakes were in the air but did not accumulate. Now, the second one we saw was February 2nd and 3rd. Of course, that was 1.7 inches. And then back on January 15th, also picking up a trace of snow. All right, temperatures today actually will go down as high as 57, 55, 56 degrees across North Texas, and that was a midnight temperature before our Arctic front pushed through the area. Temperatures have since cooled off. We're down to 43 degrees in Dallas, same in McKinney and Fort Worth, Denton coming in at 43 as well, as those northerly winds continue to drive in that cold air between 10 and about 15 miles per hour. That is a Texas cold front right there, 20 to 30 degrees colder right now than it was just this time yesterday. So as we take a look at the overnight lows tonight, upper 20s to lower 30s appear to be a pretty good bet. 29 Dallas, 28 Lovefield, 31 there in Richardson, 29 in Garland, 27 Arlington, 28, 24, you get the idea. The highs tomorrow, we're talking about rebounding into those mid-60s, so it'll be very pleasant as we head into your Sunday. In our northern counties, temperatures here in the mid to upper 20s, with highs tomorrow once again rebounding into those low to mid-60s here across Collin and Denton counties. And then in our southern counties, Ellis and Johnson, upper 20s to lower 30s look to be a pretty good bet, with highs tomorrow here locally again in the mid-60s. There's another look at your snow that pushed on through earlier this morning. And you can see Athens to Tyler really got hammered with it, with a brief burst of heavy snow there. But again, all of that has since pushed well on off to the east. In fact, statewide, there's really not a whole lot going on with the Houston area, but the only spot in the state seeing some cloud cover. Our future sky, I want to take you into next week, because this is when our next storm system begins to develop as we head into your Tuesday night and into Wednesday. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. You'll notice rain breaking out across North Texas, and then that takes us all the way into your drive time home Wednesday afternoon, becoming more widespread heading into the midnight hour. And then possibly the model here trying to paint some wintry precip as we head into the morning hours of Thursday. I ain't buying what it's selling, at least not right now, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it as we head into the next couple of days. Either way, if we were to see any wintry weather, I don't think it would amount to much at all. Temperatures in the 70s heading into your Monday and Tuesday before that next front rolls through. Desmond, highs back in the 40s heading into Thursday.
I understand there is a Cowboy connection to this big game. I know the Cowboys aren't playing in this big game, so Desmond, please explain.
Steve, nothing gets past you, my friend. We're less than 24 hours away from Super Bowl 56. There's a former Dallas Cowboy playing in the big game, and it sounds like he's throwing a little shade at his own team. Cornerback Cheeto Awuzie spent his first 4 seasons in the NFL wearing a star on his helmet with the Cowboys. During the offseason, he signed a free agent deal to join the Bengals, and so far, so good. He's playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow. Take a listen at how Awuzie compares the culture at Cincinnati to the one in Dallas.
I think it's benefited me greatly. You know, it's given me new life in football. Just seeing that football can be played, without all the lights. We don't have the best foundational pieces in Cincinnati in terms of, we don't have an indoor. Everybody always talks about we don't have an indoor. Some things aren't really up to date. All goes back to that blue collar mentality, and I think that's the type of person I am. I fit right in, and I think we just have that mindset, that dog mentality. There's no excuses, and we're gonna get it done, no matter what.
No excuses. On to the NBA. Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, who were traded for Kristaps Porzingis, will not make their Mavs debut tonight against the Clippers. The team is hopeful they'll be ready for Tuesday's matchup against the Heat. College basketball now a scary moment during the Texas-Baylor game today. Jonathan Tchamwa severely hurt his left knee. He is out indefinitely. Baylor would rally around their injured teammate. Adam Flagler nails the long three-pointer to give the Bears a 12-point lead. Flagler finished with a game-high 20 points. Second half, James Akinjo drives to the bucket, and that pretty left-handed finish. Boy, oh boy. 10th-ranked Baylor. They win 80-63. R-E-B-O-U-N-D, rebound. Texas Tech looking to rebound from Wednesday's loss to Oklahoma, squaring off against TCU. Damian Ball knocks down the 3 to give the Frogs a 35-22 lead, but from there, the Red Raiders would turn up the heat. Terrence Shannon Jr., he's dangerous from the three-point line. Tech outscored TCU 45-29 in the second half. The Red Raiders, they go on to win 82-69. A huge crowd in Lawrence today to see Oklahoma face this off against Kansas. It was a 2-point game in the second half, but before Tanner Groves hits the three-pointer, giving the Sooners a 57-52 lead. Less than 30 seconds in the game, Sooners down 3. OU forces a turnover. They get the layup just like that. It's a 1-point game with 17 seconds left. It would come down to this. Kansas up 2. OU's Jordan Goldwire trying to tie the game, but his jumper falls short. Let the Jayhawks hang on to win 71-69. Oklahoma State playing host to West Virginia this afternoon. We'll pick this one up in the second half. Isaac Likely playing some grown man basketball inside the paint. He'll give OSU a 10-point lead. Oklahoma, they would continue to attack the paint. Musa Cisse having a productive meeting with the rim there. Oklahoma State took West Virginia behind the woodshed 81-58 is your final. Texas A&M on the road in action against the #1 team in college basketball, the Auburn Tigers. The Aggies had no answer for 7'1" Walker Kessler. He messed around and got a triple-double. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 blocks. The Auburn Tigers go on to win 75-58. UNT, they've been in a fantastic groove as of late. They brought a 9-game win streak into the matchup against Rice today. Thomas Bell led the Mean Green today with a game-high 21 points as UNT improves to 11-1 in conference play, defeating Rice 67-44. The Mean Green have now won 10 games in a row. Now tonight at 7 p.m., you can catch the Dallas Sidekicks take on the Florida Tropics over on our sister station TXA 21, indoor soccer at its finest. Now let's talk a little rugby. The Dallas Jackals at the San Diego Legion, a game you saw right here early on TXA 21 over on our sister station. It was B.O.B., body on body, a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, but hammering Hank Trender would break free, puts it through for the try. Automatic 7 points under the post for the Jackals. Dallas takes a 13-10 lead, but San Diego, they have the last laugh. The Jackals, they lose this one 37-29. More CBS 11 News after this.
I know this may look like a classic rooftop chasing. But it's an Nissan salesman ad. Right on cue. This Rogue's got more power than that CRV.
Hurry in for a low $297 per month lease on Frontier.
The action never ends, but these offers will.
They say nothing worth having comes easy, to which we say they must not have had our sirloin steak with garlic herb butter, because it takes less than 30 minutes to make. No, really. With Home Chef, you get more ways to have super delicious, super fresh meals that are also super easy. So even when you don't really have time to cook, you still have time to Home Chef. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com. Also available at select stores. Home Chef. Delicious, made simple.
Right now at Rooms to Go, sleep better and save big. Hurry to our President's Day mattress sale and get this special offer. Buy this Sealy Posturepedic or this Beauty Breath Silver mattress in your choice of sizes for just $577. That's right, any size, one low price. Even a king-size mattress, just $577. Plus, check out all our other great mattress buys throughout the store during the Rooms to Go President's Day mattress sale going on now. Don't miss it.
The Biden administration is out of control, and they are failing. I'm Glenn Hager. I'll always fight to secure our border. I distributed $3 billion to add more law enforcement along the border, and I'm fighting to stop the Green New Deal and Biden's attack on oil and gas producers in Texas. All levels of government should be open and accountable to Texas taxpayers. I'll always fight for our Texas values.
Glenn Hager for Texas Comptroller.
This is my first time trying on glasses at home.
So cute! 5 different frames to Warby Parker.
Oh, this one's better.
The virtual try-on is perfect. Like, they look like they're on my face. Like, look at this. Just swipe and switch.
These are definitely a keeper.
I think these are the ones. Ooh, these look good.
That was so easy. They make it so fun and fabulous.
Hi, North Texas. I'm Karen Borda. After almost 20 years anchoring at night and 7 years anchoring in the morning, I'm joining Ken Molestina for CBS 11 News at 4. And together we are going to bring you all the news important to North Texas.
That will do it for now. Thank you.
you so much for watching CBS 11 News. The ones for Texas. We'll see you right back here tonight.
Sally Ann and Robin changed my life. First black woman that I saw on television was Sally Ann Roberts. I was like, oh wow, if she's doing it, I can do it too. I actually worked with them both personally. I was both of their interns.
That's my summer intern, Kennedy Water. I call her Mini-Me.
They both taught me that anything that I wanted to do is possible. Because of women like them and other women, black women that paved the way, that is why I'm able to be here, and I'm so grateful.
You have cancer. Sure wasn't expecting that. Not with these two. But my team at Texas Oncology has been right there for me. They said my family is a huge part of my treatment plan. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Right here is where I want to be. I'll see you in the morning.
Betsy Price, Fort Worth's progressive mayor, wasted millions on a diversity and inclusion office that pushes woke critical race theory propaganda, and supported Fort Worth ISD's transgender plan to allow boys into girls' bathrooms. Betsy Price, disqualified to be a Republican. Tim O'Hare, endorsed by President Trump and Ted Cruz to fight CRT radicals and stand up to cancel culture. Tim O'Hare, the conservative choice for Tarrant County Judge.
From Sony Pictures Studios, it's America's Game. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the stars of our show. Shane Jack and Vanna White.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much. Thank you, Jim. And thank you for letting me stroll. We'll do it again later. Bye. Hi. Good to see you all. Get ready. We're going to give away some money here, $1,000 in our first toss-up of the night. Living Things, that's the category. And here we go. Sarah.
Seals and sea lions.
Yeah, that's it. That's the quickest you made $1,000?
I'm excited.
Yeah, Sarah Harris, Redondo Beach, California. So let's start with family. You have 2 kids, right?
Yes, I have 2 teenagers. One's in college, one's still finishing high school.
And Loyola Marymount, right?
Yes, I work at Loyola Marymount during the day, and at night I'm a mindful midlife blogger.
Okay. And what are kindness rocks, he asks?
Basically, we paint nice sayings or pretty pictures and just leave them around the neighborhood and hope that other people will find some joy when they find a rock.
Okay, unless they trip over them.
We don't put them in walkways.
Born in South Korea.
Yes, I was born in South Korea, adopted here as an infant, and I was able to take a trip back for the first time about 2 years ago, and currently I'm writing a memoir about that experience.
Well, good luck with that. And good
Thank you.
On the show. You too, Robin. Robin Slivikoff, Laguna Niguel, California.
Yes.
A married lady, yes.
Married to my husband Chad for 15 wonderful years. I have an 11-year-old daughter Julia and an 8-year-old son Jacob.
Speech language pathologist. Is this at a school?
It is. I work in elementary school. We work on speech, language, and social skills.
Now, your mother was here, and it was so long ago I wasn't even here.
She was here.
Grateful to be here. Carrying on family group. Pushing the little group.
In the Butler area of Freestone County, that's a fair amount of the powdery stuff hanging out on the grass, right? The reason being, a heavier band of precipitation set up there. So while actual temperatures ground level were well above freezing, that air cooled rapidly, and we got to see those big flakes in our southeastern zones. And radar, this is a 6-hour image of that radar, and you can see where that heavier stuff fell. But the rest of us have cleared out. The air is very dry, and our temperatures are dropping quickly, with some spots already down into the upper 30s. So how low will they go? Mid and upper 20s for most. I think this computer model may be actually a little too warm. North and west, you know who you are. It's always just a couple degrees colder there, so lower 20s possible for you. But I think everyone drops into the 20s tonight. So another hard freeze to start tomorrow, but with a lot of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. More of us are back just above normal for highs in the low and mid 60s. So the warm up even more will continue going into next week ahead of another disturbance. This time around, thunderstorms in the forecast. Details on that in just a bit.
Fort Worth police have identified a suspected vehicle that may have been involved in the drive-by shooting that killed a teenager while he was asleep in his bed last month. Police say this dark gray vehicle was last seen driving near the scene in the city's southeast side on Ravine Drive on January 15th. The family of the 15-year-old is hoping someone out there can provide some answers. Fox 4's Payne Yeager live with the latest on that investigation tonight. Payne.
Blake, it's been a difficult month or so for the Flores family. Still no arrests in this case, but Fort Worth police just released a photo of the vehicle they believe pulled up to the Flores' home and then fired multiple shots to the front of the home. One of the bullets struck 15-year-old Eugenio Flores in the head, and he later died at the hospital. But here is the image from a nearby surveillance camera of a dark-colored vehicle speeding away from Ravine Road after firing multiple shots at the Flores home. 15-year-old Eugenio Flores was asleep in the front bedroom with his younger brother when he was struck by a bullet. It happened at 7:20 in the morning on January 15th, and detectives admit right now they have little information, which for the Flores family has been very frustrating.
I always looked out to him like a brother. I feel like I should have been there for him. But I just really want justice.
The Floreses say they do not recognize the vehicle, and according to the Fort Worth Police Department, a motive is still unknown, and it's still unclear who was the intended target. But in their most recent social media update, police are asking for information about the suspect or suspects in the dark-colored car, as well as assistance in identifying the intended targets of the shooting. Now, Eugenio Flores, he was 15, he was a sophomore, and he played on the JV soccer team here at Polytechnic High School in Fort Worth. They recently retired his number 20, in his honor. If you know anything, call Fort Worth Police. Blake, back to you.
Okay, Payne, thanks. A jury sentenced a man to 9 years in prison for sexually abusing 2 underage girls. 38-year-old Benjamin Cole was found guilty of 2 counts of indecency with a child by sexual contact. The Tarrant County Criminal District Attorney's Office says Cole met one of the victims when she was 10 years old at Heritage Baptist Church in Mansfield. The victim and Cole had a friendship that ultimately led to sexual contact. The office says the victim was still a minor at the time. The contact was unwanted. Prosecutors say she told the church what happened, but she and another victim didn't tell police until 2018. Cole was sentenced to 4.5 years for each count and will serve them consecutively. The city of Dallas unveiled a new statue in honor of a 12-year-old boy who was killed by a Dallas police officer nearly 50 years ago. The memorial statue for Santos Rodriguez now stands at Pike Park in Dallas, where the boy used to play. Today, his mother stood right before it as hundreds of people came out to honor her son. Fox 4's Davidson Tendrick has the story.
Bessie Rodriguez placing flowers at the statue of her 12-year-old boy, Santos Rodriguez. He was killed by a Dallas police officer nearly 50 years ago.
And I told my mom they're having this viewing at Cortez Funeral Home here in Harvard, where now all the big buildings are.
Nancy Vasquez, 14 years old at the time, recalls seeing the boy's body.
Then I knew it was for real. It wasn't a dream, it wasn't a nightmare.
She remembers protesting with many others in the streets of Dallas.
The murder of Santos Rodriguez was a shame on our city.
July 24th, 1973. Rodriguez and his brother were picked up on suspicion of stealing $8 from a vending machine. Santos was handcuffed in the back of a police car. Officer Daryl Kane, while trying to get the boy to confess, held a revolver to the boy's head and pulled the trigger on an empty chamber. The boy insisted he was innocent. The second trigger pull was a live round, a fatal shot to the head. Officer Kane, who thought the gun was unloaded, served 2.5 years of a 5-year prison sentence for murder.
The shame comes from the unbearable pain and suffering caused by someone who many years ago was wearing my uniform.
A few hundred people gathering to unveil the statue at Pike Park Saturday. It's where Rodriguez used to play.
It doesn't show him in the back of a car with handcuffs and blood coming from his head. It shows him as a child who loved to play. He's captured, like he's captured in that moment in time of just pure innocence before everything else happened to him, and it's good.
When I see the image of Santos, I see myself, I see every Latino boy who calls Dallas home.
This fixes nothing. Art doesn't provide answers, but hopefully it causes us to ask the right questions.
Rodriguez's death sparked many questions and what-ifs from across the country back in the 70s.
That could have been my brother. That could have been one of my cousins, you know?
A statue doesn't right or wrong, but some hope it'll allow Dallas to never forget the story of Bessie Rodriguez's boy.
She's a strong woman to carry on every day.
David Centendry, Fox 4 News.
The city of DeSoto held a State of the City address focusing on analyzing how the city's performed in the last year. The address touched on things like finances, COVID, and the winter storm. Mayor Rachel Proctor says last year's winter storm prepared the city for last week's Arctic blast. She says as soon as last year's storm ended, city leaders made a new partnership called CODE, which stands for Community Organizations Active in Disaster. This includes groups like Encore Energy, DeSoto ISD, and Star Transit.
These relationships continue to protect DeSoto from pandemics and disasters and have paved the way for future challenges when it will help us to know that these true friends have DeSoto's back. While natural...
The mayor also noted that despite the pandemic, the city's overall revenues increased by approximately 12%. Rapper Snoop Dogg and one of his associates are facing a lawsuit for sexual assault. A woman claims the associate forced her to perform a sexual act in May of 2013. She says the associate then took her to Snoop's house where the rapper allegedly did the same thing. The unidentified woman then goes on to say Snoop wouldn't hire her because she wouldn't comply. Snoop called the woman a gold digger on Instagram and denied everything. He is facing a lawsuit just hours before he is set to perform during the Super Bowl halftime show. A Houston area high school coach is recovering after getting chased down and attacked by a group of students Thursday after school. The student caught the attack on cell phones as the other students chased down the coach. Fox's Matthew Seedorf reports.
Disturbing video of an attack outside Houston's Langham Creek High School. A student sharing his video with us, taken as middle school students chase down a high school baseball coach. Throwing punches, then the coach falls to the ground.
I was surprised when nobody did anything, especially when I found out it was just a bunch of middle schoolers.
Almost all the students at Langham Creek High have now seen this video, many talking about the brutal ambush.
I heard that there were kids doing donuts and stuff, causing a ruckus with their dirt bikes, and the coach was not happy with it, so he asked them politely to stop doing that. The kids were not having it, and they decided to jump them.
They should be ashamed of themselves. They need to be in jail, behind bars. I mean, that's horrible.
Skyfox above the high school Friday afternoon. Several parents in line to pick up their children early. After the attack, someone posted to social media threatening the possibility of a school shooting.
I was shocked. I kind of did not want to go to school today, and I was really trying to see if I could go home.
School principal sent this letter home to parents calling the ambush extremely unacceptable, adding several Oregon middle school students were identified and taken into custody. Campus police are investigating the threatening social media post. The school principal says they increased security here on Friday. We actually did see a couple of officers on patrol. Just a scary day for a lot of students. Reporting on the northwest side, Matthew Seedorf, Fox News.
Some vaccinated Amazon workers will no longer have to wear masks in warehouses. The retail giant announced the requirement will be lifted for workers in states that have eased up on their mask mandates. Employees who are not vaccinated or work in states where mask regulations are still in place will continue to have to mask up. Amazon says it made the decision due to a sharp decline in COVID cases across the country. Starting March 18th, only fully vaccinated employees will get paid leave if they catch the virus. Unvaccinated workers can still take off, but will be unpaid. Vaccinated guests will no longer have to wear a mask at Universal Orlando. The resort said starting today, Universal is dropping its indoor and outdoor face covering requirement for fully vaccinated guests. A public relations manager said unvaccinated guests are encouraged to wear face coverings indoors. Universal Orlando said it is updating its policy based on local conditions and trends. The resort has been requiring face masks in all public indoor locations regardless of vaccination status since December 24th when the Omicron variant started surging. Still ahead, a database has been designed to help connect families with their past, how you can access it, and how it works. Right after this.
Domino's, you have a million chances for something to go wrong. You have one chance for everything to work.
Look out loud, this is red. One wrong move, and the whole thing's gone. Are you ready?
This is so stressful.
Domino Masters, hosted by Eric Stone Street. Holy cow, that was awesome! Coming Wednesday, March 9th to Fox.
During HomeZone's President's Day sale, you'll find a huge selection of furniture, reduced and in stock. Save $200 on this Texas-built sofa, just $789. Available now. Plus, 48 months financing. HomeZone, Texas-born, family-owned.
Oh, wow. Robert Corcoran.
Good morning.
Sorry, but we don't need any business stuff now. We're gigillionaires.
What?
We're gigillionaires now.
I don't get it.
We have AT&T Business Fiber with hypergate speeds. So thanks. We're doing great.
I'm so happy for you, but I'm just here for my order.
Oh. Entrepreneurs?
You know my bowling team.
I like it.
It's money in clothes.
Do business like a gigillionaire. AT&T Business Fiber, now with speeds up to 5 gigs. Limited availability.
There's a clear and present danger in neighborhoods like this. It's deadly fentanyl, and it's killing our kids. How's it getting here?
Right here, through our border. That's why Governor Abbott deployed the National Guard to assist law enforcement at the border. He's given us new authority to arrest trespassers and has increased jail capacity to handle criminal arrests. Joe Biden should be securing this border, but he won't.
That's why Governor Abbott is getting the job done.
Our President's Day sale is our biggest sleep event of the year, like this $2,000 mattress set for just $10.99. Plus, we'll upgrade you to an adjustable base for free and 48 months financing. You'll never save more. Texas-born, family-owned.
More than 30 young professionals got together this morning to give back to the community. In this week's Connections, we are showcasing Join Week for the Dallas-Fort Worth Urban League. The group got together to create bags of toiletries and handed them out to those who needed some help. It is a chance to give back while also exposing new members to the mission and the goals of the organization. It's one of the first in-person events in a while for the Urban League, so for members, it was great to get back to work.
It feels good. It feels empowered. This is what we're here to do. We want to empower our committee members, our Urban League members, and then the community as well. Much more to come, so I'm just excited to finally be back in a place where we can serve the community.
This is one of several community service events to come. The Urban League is accepting new members this week. We have a link with more information on fox4news.com. A library in Galveston is giving African-American families a tutorial in finding their family history. A genealogist wants to share her knowledge to bring people's lost roots back to life. Fox Photos.
His name is John Baptiste, and he is my great-grandfather. This is my great-grandmother. She was also enslaved. If you're African-American and you're descended from a family that was formerly enslaved, the research process is different. Before 1865, before emancipation, Black people were not included among the records that are typically associated with humans, like birth certificates, because we were not considered to be humans. We were property. There are resources available to find that. FamilySearch.org, which is a part of the Latter-day Saints Church, they have the largest collection of genealogical records in the world, and they now digitize them and then make them available to individual researchers. Another resource is called the Freedmen's Bureau Records. This resource of records was created immediately following emancipation. The records that they left behind have created a wealth of information about Black people, whether you know it or not. There is evidence of your family's history right in your own home. It's the artifacts, the papers, the photographs.
Our mission here at the Galveston and Texas History Center in the Rosenberg Library
is to share our rich history and our historical resources with the public. We're offering a series of virtual workshops. These are 100% free workshops that anyone can attend online.
And I found my ancestors in their wills. I give and bequeath unto my beloved son, Joseph F. Branch, the following slaves to wit. And then he names them: Throne, Farabee, Betty. Honor your ancestors by reclaiming the struggle and retelling the struggle. Document their stories through the records that were left behind. They left breadcrumbs for you. Follow them. Find your people.
That was Fox's Darlene Janik Ferris. If you would like to learn more about your family history, we have linked a recent tutorial from the Rosenberg Library in Galveston with Sharon Gillens on fox4news.com under our links tab.
Well, we've all quieted down, but now it's all about the very cold temperatures. How low will they go? The details on the rest of your weekend's forecast straight ahead.
Also ahead, the new report that shows where love is apparently thriving in states across the country, where Texas ranked.
I know this may look like a classic rooftop chasing. But it's an Nissan salesman ad. Right on cue. This Rogue's got more power than that CRV.
Hurry in for a low $297 per month lease on Frontier.
The action never ends, but these offers will.
This Valentine's Day, show someone you care with a special gift. Unless you've been hit and hurt in a car, and it wasn't your fault. Then you won't be able to afford to buy a gift, because you can't afford to get your car repaired or get medical treatment. Their insurance company doesn't want to pay you a dime. You're not on their Valentine's Day list. Call them. They'll be your Valentine.
The Biden administration is out of control, and they are failing. I'm Glenn Hager. I'll always fight to secure our border. I distributed $3 billion to add more law enforcement along the border, and I'm fighting to stop the Green New Deal and Biden's attack on oil and gas producers in Texas. All levels of government should be open and accountable to Texas taxpayers. I'll always fight for our Texas values.
Glenn Hager for Texas Comptroller.
I used my bachelor's degree in business from Walden University to open up two schools and a publishing company. We teach children that education is a tool to change your life. I'm replicating what I learned at Walden. They encourage me to keep achieving my goals. They never said no. They said, you can do it.
Fox 4 Weather is sponsored by your North Texas Hyundai dealers.
Well, after a gloomy start with some flurry around the Metroplex, a little more snow to the south and east, things have quieted down. Skies have cleared out, and we still have that north wind, so very chilly evening across North Texas with temperatures generally still in the 40s for a lot of folks, but it does feel about 5 to 10 degrees colder when you factor in the wind. Now, as the night goes on, the wind is going to let up, so clear sky, light wind, really dry air, that's just a recipe for cold temperatures. And I think some lower 20s will be possible in our northwestern zones. The rest of us generally mid and upper 20s, which is still well below normal at hard freeze. So extremely cold, the 4 Ps, that's the kind of night it's going to be. But with a lot of sunshine tomorrow, we will warm up rather quickly. So layers in the morning, maybe not as much in the afternoon. I've got us at 63 for the high, and then we just go up from there with 70s for the first half of next week. And then starting Wednesday, we'll return some rain chances, but the stronger disturbance will come in Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, and we get another shot of colder air back behind that. So the roller coaster temperatures, that's just something we'll continue to have to deal with here over the next week or so. Yes, starting out cold tomorrow. We've got a weak boundary that moves through, kind of changes our wind direction around. No big deal really. But from Monday on, you'll notice more of a southerly wind, and it'll get strong. Kind of breezy to even windy conditions for us Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. That's going to pump in Gulf moisture. You'll notice eventually more clouds. Then here comes our next system with lower coverage for your Wednesday afternoon, but Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, that's when we will see this system move through, and the potential for some stronger storms will be out there. I think gusty winds will likely be our biggest concern, but this is still several days away. We just want to give you the heads up now. We are expecting likely some stronger storms Wednesday night. This moves out late morning and early afternoon Thursday, and then that northerly flow will return some colder temperatures once again. So this is all liquid, not as much winter weather with this system compared to some of the recent ones that have moved across the country. So how much rain are we talking? Well, a lot of us will likely receive rain Wednesday night into early Thursday, and it's the nighttime hours that we have the potential for some of those stronger storms, and I believe we'll likely see that, especially in our western counties ahead of that cold front. So as we get closer to the event, we'll be able to fine-tune that for you. Just keep it in the back of your mind. But currently, skies have cleared out, and it is getting downright chilly. So if you do have some fun plans tonight, layer up for sure. Actual temperatures already down to 35 in Gainesville, 43 for Dallas, 41 in Cleburne, and even some upper 30s around Athens and Sulphur Springs. So the wind currently still kind of breezy. It does back off, and that is what will allow those temperatures to drop pretty quickly. I think most of us are in the 20s tomorrow morning, and then warming into the 60s for your afternoon. Should be quite nice, and we will keep with a milder forecast here going into at least the first half of next week. Here's your forewarned 7-day forecast with the warming trend after a very chilly start to tomorrow, and then better rain chances by the middle of next week.
Koalas have now reached endangered status in some eastern areas. Australia listed the animals as endangered along most of its east coast, following brutal hits to its habitats like koala, drought, bushfires, and tree removals by developers. The country made those designations in New South Wales, Queensland, and the Australian Capital Territory. Estimates now put their numbers at 58,000. One study says bushfires in late 2019 and 2020 killed or injured more than 60,000 koalas. A federal judge has restored federal protections for gray wolves across much of the country. The judge ruled the Fish and Wildlife Service failed to show wolf populations could be sustained without protection under the Endangered Species Act. Wildlife advocates praise the decision, but hunters and farmers have expressed anger over wolf attacks on their livestock. The Biden administration fought to stop these protections from being restored, even though they were lifted during the Trump administration. A new report suggests that marriage, just like real estate, is all about location. Point Two Homes, a home real estate company, says that marriages in places like West Virginia and Maine last about 22.3 years. In Texas, marriages typically last about 17 and a half years, according to that report. The Lone Star State ranks 39th in best places for love. Hawaii is number one. More Fox 4 News after this break.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find a Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Very well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles. Plus, on select models, current competitive owners get an additional $750 bonus cash. New models are arriving weekly. Secure yours today.
Hey man, if you're struggling with diabetes, high cholesterol, or high blood pressure, there's a doctor's office just for men. Total Men's Primary Care. Get professional medical care right when you need it. Trusted by over 100,000 patients in Texas, with over 15,000 five-star reviews. And the best part is, your annual checkup is covered by your insurance. Book today at TotalMens.com. The doctor's office just for men.
One motorcyclist dies every day on Texas roads. Motorcycle accidents can cause severe injuries from road rash and broken bones, brain injuries, and death. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious motorcycle accidents and gets serious results for injured
What does
clients.
that say?
Call today.
Quicken Loans
Thomas
urges
J.
U.S.
Henry
homeowners
is
to switch to a
available
15-year.
24/7 nights and weekends.
How did Bob Saget suffer a fatal head injury alone in his hotel room? It's the haunting question raised by the autopsy on the beloved comedian, which found he died of blunt head trauma, most likely incurred from an unwitnessed fall. The just-released autopsy report says the blow was so severe he had multiple skull fractures, bleeding on the brain, bruising around the eyes, and an abrasion on the back of the head measuring 1 by 1.3 inches. The report says Saget was 6 feet 5 inches and weighed 228 pounds, and it found that at the time of death he tested positive for COVID. We showed the findings to forensic pathologist Dr. Priya Banerjee.
There's actually bruising on the brain because it looks like he hit the back of his head and then the brain rattled inside the skull and causes a lot of damage.
So what could have happened here that caused an injury so severe?
He could have slipped and fallen on tile in the bathroom. He could have slipped and fallen and hit his head on an object.
Saget's grieving family says he accidentally hit his head on something, thought nothing of it, and went to sleep. No drugs or alcohol were involved. 65-year-old Saget was found dead in room 962 at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Orlando last month. His hotel key card showed he checked into his room at 2:17 a.m. after a stand-up performance. At 3:42 a.m., he posted this photo with the message, "Love the show tonight. Happily addicted again to this." An Inside Edition producer checked into the hotel today to investigate what could have happened to Saget.
There was a report that he couldn't get his head on the headboard. You should see his headboard is very soft. However, next to the bed is a nightstand with a marble top. Hitting his head here would have caused a lot of damage. The bathroom is very small with a lot of hard surfaces.
Create a lot of other problems too. All right, so how are you going to do it? How are you going to finish both showers in the same day?
So, Joe, we're going to send out 2 of our expert installation crews to get these showers taken care of. It really is amazing what they can do in one day. We're going to entirely replace what's here with brand new walk-in showers from Restore Home. This homeowner will never have to worry about mold and mildew again.
We'll take a look. Job's done. They took it from this to this in just 8 hours. With this brand new acrylic wall system, it gives the bath a fresh, modern look. Clean and real breeze.
Hello everyone, Dr. Kevin Zander with you. Welcome to the secret place where there's the atmosphere of heaven. And we're continuing our study in Psalms 139. And this program is an exciting program for me because I get to talk to you about the protection of God. Did you know that later on in Psalms 139, there's several different verses that talk about the enemies of the psalmist and how he needed God to come in and protect him. And so we're going to talk about protection today. The Lord wants to protect you. And there's many, many verses in the Bible that indicate this. And I know that my favorite is Psalms 91. And so we're going to go through this program. So I just believe that you're going to receive supernatural impartation from this program because the angels of the Lord are excited for you to know how much God has secured your future and has secured your environment. Even now, even if it looks like you are in a hostile environment, if you feel unsafe, if things are happening around you, God has sent his special forces, the angels, to help you. And it's exciting to know that not only did God write a book about you, as we've already studied, and also we studied how he has starts towards you. And we're excited about that. But he's also written about you, thought about you, and now he is protecting you. So we're going to get right into it. Psalms 91, I'm reading from the Passion Translation. We're just going to go through a couple verses at a time here. We'll start with verse 1. It says, when you sit enthroned under the shadow of the Shaddai, you are hidden in the strength of God Most High. Verse 2 says, is the hope that holds me and the stronghold to shelter me, the only God for me and my great confidence. Now going on to verse 3, it says, he will rescue you from every hidden trap of the enemy, and he will protect you from false accusation and any deadly curse. His massive arms are wrapped around you, protecting you. You can run under his covering of majesty and hide. His arms of faithfulness are a shield keeping you from harm. And that was verse 4. So we read verses 1 through 4. You need to read these over and over again. If I were you, I would write them on a card from the Passion Translation if it's available for you.
Get it again?
That's Psalms 91, verses 1 through 4.
Why?
So we're going through
Because
these
all your
verses.
texts
There's
are
a
just
lot
there on
of
the floor
information here.
in your
Closet.
closet.
You have in the past.
They're in my closet, Grandma. Where else am I supposed to put them?
No,
you put them up somewhere.
But then you walk away.
You don't put them on the floor. I didn't put them on the floor. They probably fell.
Well, then pick them up. And I'm telling you, it's what you walk away with that you understand. It's not what you hear or what you read that is valuable. It's what you grasp